You've been frustrated. Frustrated that you can't see energy the way psychics do. Frustrated that when you meditate, when you visualize, when you try to sense the field around you, there's nothing. Just darkness. Just your imagination running wild, maybe. And you doubt. You doubt if any of this is real, if spiritual practices actually work, if you're doing something wrong, or worse, if you're just not gifted enough. But what if I told you something radical? What if I told you that you're already seeing it? That every single thought you've ever had, every emotion you've suppressed, every trauma you've carried, they're all visible. Not to your physical eyes, but to something deeper. And what if the reason you've struggled isn't because you lack ability, but because nobody told you what to look for? Here's the thing. Some people can see through the physical body, and what they see will change everything you thought you knew about reality. Let me show you. Let me tell you about a quantum physicist named David Bohm. Not a mystic, not a spiritual teacher, a physicist who worked alongside Einstein. And Bohm believed something profound, that beyond the atom at the subquantum level there exists energy so subtle, so refined that modern science hasn't even begun to measure it. He called it the implicate order, a realm where information, consciousness, and energy are woven together in ways we're only beginning to understand. Now, here's where it gets interesting. 300 years ago, long before quantum physics, a Swedish mystic named Emanuel Swedenborg described seeing something he called wave substance around people. Not aura in the vague, fluffy sense, but actual waves. And within those waves, images, thoughts made visible, emotions crystallized into form. He wrote, "When I was thinking about someone I knew, his image appeared before me, but all around like something flowing in waves was everything I had known and thought about him from boyhood." 3 centuries apart, one mystic, one physicist, same observation. And then we have modern psychics, people like Beatrice Rich, Carol Dreyer, Barbara Brennan, who describe seeing 3-dimensional holograms floating in the energy field around the human body. Not abstract colors, not vague sensations, specific detailed holographic images, silver spoons, potatoes, transparent movies playing out scenes from someone's past. This isn't woo-woo, this is documented, this is observed, this is what happens when we stop pretending the physical body is all there is. So here's my question for you. What exactly are they seeing? And more importantly, what does it mean for you? Ready to go deeper? Because what I'm about to show you will completely reframe how you understand your own mind, your body, and the invisible architecture of your reality. Let me tell you what happens when thought meets energy. Your thoughts, every single one of them, create 3-dimensional holographic images in your energy field. Not metaphorically, literally. These images hover around your head, your heart, your body. They're structured, they're detailed, they're visible to those who know how to look. Psychic Beatrice Rich once looked at a man and saw silver spoons, silver plates, ornate silver objects circling his head like satellites. She had no idea what it meant, so she asked. Turns out the man owned an import-export business specializing in antique silverware. His entire life, his entire focus, his entire mental and emotional energy wrapped up in silver objects. And there they were, holographically projected in his energy field. Another psychic, Carol Dreyer, looked at a woman and saw potatoes. Just potatoes, floating around her. She almost laughed, but she asked. The woman worked for the Idaho Potato Board. Her job, her thoughts, her daily focus, potatoes, and her energy field reflected it back like a perfect mirror. Here's the kicker. These aren't random hallucinations. These are repeatable observations. Different psychics, different people, same phenomenon. Your dominant thoughts, your obsessions, your mental loops, they don't just stay in your head. They radiate outward, they take form, they become part of the structure of your energy field, and here's where most people miss it. You think your thoughts are private, internal, contained, but the quantum field doesn't work that way. At the level beyond the atom, beyond the physical, your thoughts are events. They're energetic signatures. They're holograms that hover in the space around you, broadcasting what you think, what you feel, what you believe. This is why manifestation isn't about repeating affirmations louder. It's about understanding that your thoughts are already manifesting. constantly, automatically, holographically in the field around you. And that field, it's not separate from reality. It is reality, at a level most people never see. Think about it. When you obsess over a problem, when you replay a scenario over and over, when you fixate on a fear or a desire, you're not just thinking about it. You're sculpting it. You're building it. You're creating a holographic structure in your energy field that the quantum field responds to. Energy follows thought, not because it's magic, but because thought is energy. Thought is structure. Thought is form. Now pause with that for a moment. What have you been thinking about most? What images are you projecting into your field right now? Because they're there. Whether you see them or not, whether you're aware of them or not, your thoughts are not invisible to the universe. They're only invisible to you. And here's what nobody tells you. The images you're creating, the holograms you're projecting, they don't just represent your mental state. They shape it. They reinforce it. They lock you into patterns because what you focus on expands, not metaphorically, energetically, holographically, structurally. So here's the radical shift. You don't need to see your energy field to work with it. You just need to understand that every thought you have is already being seen by the quantum field. Every emotion you feel is already registered. Every mental loop you run is already projected. You are not a passive observer of reality. You are a holographic projector. And what you project matters, but these holograms, these images, they're not the whole story, because here's where it gets wild. These images don't just reflect what you're thinking now. They also show what you've been avoiding, what you've been suppressing, what's lurking in the shadows of your unconscious mind. Let me show you what I mean. This is why you've felt frustrated. You've been meditating, visualizing, repeating affirmations, doing all the right things, and yet nothing, no change, no shift, no result. And you've wondered, am I doing it wrong? Am I not spiritual enough? Is this even real? Here's the truth. You were doing it. You were affecting the field. You were creating holograms, projecting energy, sending signals into the quantum fabric of reality. But you couldn't see it. You couldn't feel it. So you doubted. And that doubt, that frustration, that impatience, those became part of the hologram too. Most people don't realize this. They think the content of their visualization is what matters. I'm visualizing health, so my body should heal. I'm visualizing abundance, so money should come. But the field doesn't just respond to the images you consciously create. It responds to the emotional signature behind them. If you're visualizing health, but feeling desperate, the field reads desperation. If you're visualizing abundance but feeling lack, the field reads lack. If you're doing inner work but feeling frustrated that it's not working fast enough, the field reads impatience. Your unconscious messages matter more than your conscious ones. This is what nobody tells you. This is why so many people fail at manifestation, at healing, at transformation. Not because they lack ability, but because they're broadcasting contradictory signals. They're saying one thing with their mind and another with their emotion. And the quantum field? It responds to coherence, not effort. So if you felt like you're failing, if you felt like you're not getting it, if you felt inadequate, stop. You're not broken. You're not unspiritual. You're not doing it wrong. You just didn't know that your energy field is a holographic broadcasting system, and until now, nobody taught you how to work with it consciously. But here's what no one tells you about those holograms. These holographic images in your energy field, they're not static. They move. They flow. They play out like movies. Carol Dreyer, one of the most documented psychics of the 20th century, described seeing what she called transparent movies in people's auras. Three-dimensional scenes playing out in real time. Past events, present struggles, emotional scripts that loop endlessly. She'd look at someone and see not just images but narratives, stories, dramas, conflicts, all unfolding in the wave substance around them. And here's where it gets profound. These movies aren't just recordings of what happened to you. They're visual representations of your unconscious mind. Your unconscious speaks in symbols, in metaphors, in images, just like dreams. And when Carol Dreyer correctly interpreted the meaning of a symbol, when she translated the metaphor back into conscious understanding, something stunning happened. The image would dissolve, the movie would disappear, the hologram would fade from the person's energy field. Let that sink in. Unresolved emotions, unprocessed trauma, unconscious beliefs, they're not just stored in your brain, they're stored holographically in your energy field. And they stay there, looping, repeating, broadcasting, until you see them, understand them, and consciously resolve them. This is why therapy works. This is why shadow work matters. This is why inner child healing is so powerful. You're not just working through emotions. You're dissolving holographic structures that have been stuck in your field, sometimes for decades. But here's the paradox. Most people don't know they're carrying these stuck movies. They just know they feel triggered. They just know certain patterns repeat. They just know something feels unresolved. And that something, it's visible. It's right there, playing out in their energy field like a film on loop. Let me show you what happens when those movies stay stuck. Let me tell you about a woman Carol Dreyer worked with. She looked at this woman's energy field and saw a movie playing, a scene of a little girl, maybe 5 or 6 years old, standing in a corner. Alone, ignored, invisible. The scene kept looping, over and over, the same moment, the same emotional tone, abandonment, loneliness, the feeling of not mattering. Dreyer asked, "What does this mean to you?" And the woman broke down. She remembered her childhood, her parents too busy with their own lives to notice her. The countless times she stood in corners, in doorways, in rooms, waiting to be seen, waiting to matter, waiting for someone to ask how she was, and nobody did. That moment, that feeling, had never been processed. It had been suppressed, buried, ignored, but it didn't disappear. It couldn't, because the body, the energy field, the holographic structure of her being, it remembered. And it kept playing that scene over and over in her aura. A transparent movie, a stuck loop. And here's the critical part. As long as that movie stayed stuck, she kept recreating it. In her relationships, in her work, in her life. She'd unconsciously seek out situations where she'd feel invisible, where she'd feel unimportant, where she'd feel abandoned, not because she wanted to suffer, but because that holographic pattern in her field was still broadcasting, still attracting, still manifesting. This is what unresolved trauma does. It doesn't just live in your memory, it lives in your energy field, and it shapes your reality from that level. It's a holographic script that keeps playing until you see it, acknowledge it, and consciously choose to write a different ending. Now here's what most people misunderstand about healing. They think, I know about my childhood trauma. I've talked about it in therapy. I understand it intellectually. So why am I still triggered? Why do I still react the same way? Because intellectual understanding is not energetic resolution. You can know cognitively that your parents were emotionally unavailable. You can understand logically that it wasn't your fault. You can even forgive them consciously. But if the holographic movie is still playing in your field, if that scene of the little girl standing alone is still looping, then the emotional charge is still active. The energetic signature is still broadcasting. The pattern is still manifesting. Healing isn't just about knowing. It's about dissolving. It's about seeing the movie, feeling the emotion, understanding the symbol, and then letting it go. When that happens, the hologram fades, the loop stops, the energy shifts, and suddenly you're free. Brennan, another healer who could see energy fields, described it like this. The aura not only represents but also contains the whole. Every trauma you've experienced, every emotion you've suppressed, every belief you've internalized, it's all there, holographically encoded, in every cell, in every layer of your field. This is the holographic nature of the body. You can access the whole from any part. You can heal the whole by addressing any fragment. Because it's not stored linearly, it's stored holographically. Your left shoulder might carry the emotional memory of your father's criticism. Your right hip might hold the grief of a lost relationship. Your throat might carry the suppressed truth you never spoke. And the psychics who can see, They're not looking at abstract colors. They're looking at these holographic movies, these stuck scenes, these looping patterns, and when they translate the symbol back into conscious language, when they help you see what's been invisible, the hologram dissolves. This is why body-based therapies work. This is why somatic experiencing, EMDR, even yoga and breathwork can unlock trauma that talk therapy can't touch. Because they're accessing the holographic body. They're working with the energy field directly. Your body keeps the score, yes, but more than that. Your body keeps the movie, and the movie keeps playing until you watch it, understand it, and choose a new ending. So here's my question for you. What movies are playing in your field right now? What scenes are looping? What moments from your past are still broadcasting, still shaping, still manifesting in your present reality? Because they're there, whether you see them or not, whether you're aware of them or not. And here's where most people accidentally sabotage themselves without even knowing it. Let me tell you a story that will change how you approach healing forever. You've been trying so hard. Meditation every morning, visualization before bed, affirmations in the mirror. You've read the books, you've watched the videos, you've done the inner work, and still the same patterns, the same triggers, the same stuck places, and you've wondered, what am I doing wrong? Let me tell you something, you're not doing anything wrong, you're doing everything you've been taught, but here's what they didn't teach you. Your unconscious mind is also sending messages, and those messages might be contradicting everything you're consciously trying to create. You're visualizing health, but unconsciously feeling frustrated that your body isn't cooperating. You're affirming abundance, but unconsciously resenting that you have to work so hard for it. You're meditating for peace, but unconsciously angry that you still feel anxious. And your body, your energy field, your organs, your cells, your holographic system, they're receiving all of it. Not just the affirmations, not just the visualizations, all of it. The frustration, the resentment, the impatience, the anger. This is the missing piece. Most spiritual teachings tell you what to do, meditate, visualize, affirm, but they don't tell you how to check the emotional signature behind what you're doing. They don't teach you that your organs have intelligence, that your cells are listening, that your unconscious messages can override your conscious intentions. And so you try, and you fail, and you blame yourself. I'm not spiritual enough. I'm not doing it right. Maybe this just doesn't work for me. But the truth is, you've been accidentally working against yourself, and you didn't even know it. This brings me to the most stunning discovery I've ever come across. Something that, when you understand it, will completely change how you approach healing, manifestation, and working with your own body. Let me show you. Let me tell you about a man named Michael Talbot. He was a writer, a researcher, deeply interested in consciousness and the holographic nature of reality. And one day he decided to use visualization to heal his spleen, which had been giving him trouble. So he did what most people do. He visualized his spleen healthy, strong, functioning perfectly, and nothing happened. Frustrated, he started mentally scolding his spleen. "Why aren't you working? What's wrong with you? Heal already!" He was aggressive with it, impatient, demanding. Still nothing changed. So he reached out to Carol Dreyer, the psychic who could see energy fields. And she looked at his spleen, and what she saw shocked both of them. His spleen was upset, confused. It looked energetically like it was sulking, and Carol asked him, "Have you been yelling at your spleen?" He had. He'd been mentally berating it, frustrated that the visualization wasn't working. And here's what Carol told him. "Your spleen became ill because it thought it was doing what you wanted, but you were unconsciously giving it the wrong directions. And now, when you yell at it, it doesn't understand. It's trying to help you and you're punishing it." Let that sink in. Your organs have consciousness, not consciousness like you and I have consciousness, but intelligence, awareness, responsiveness. Every organ, every cell, every system in your body is listening to the messages you send. Not just the words, but the emotions, the intentions, the energy behind them. And when you send contradictory messages, when you visualize health but feel angry at your body for being sick, when you affirm healing but resent your body for needing it, your organs become confused. They don't know what you want. They're trying to serve you, but the signals are scrambled. This is the golden insight. You've been accidentally hurting yourself, not because you're bad at manifestation, not because you're not spiritual, but because nobody told you that your body is intelligent, that your organs respond to your emotional tone, that yelling at your spleen, criticizing your stomach, hating your fat cells, resenting your pain, it doesn't motivate healing. It creates confusion. It sends mixed signals. It sabotages the very process you're trying to activate. Barbara Brennan put it perfectly. Never get angry at your body or your internal organs. Only send positive, loving, supportive messages. Because here's the thing. Your body wants to heal. Your organs want to function. Your cells want to thrive. They're not your enemy. They're not failing you. They're responding to the energetic instructions you're giving them, both conscious and unconscious. And if those instructions are aggressive, impatient, critical, or contradictory, your body doesn't rebel, it just gets confused. Think about it. If you had a loyal assistant who was trying their best, and you started yelling at them for not reading your mind, for not doing something you never clearly asked for, what would happen? They'd feel stressed, confused, they'd start second-guessing, they'd shut down. Your organs are that assistant, your cells are that team, and they're doing their best with the information you're giving them. Now, here's where this connects to everything we've talked about. Remember those holographic images, those movies playing in your aura? They're not just visual representations, they're instructions, energetic blueprints. Your body reads them, your organs respond to them, your cells follow them. If the movie playing in your field is one of fear, of resentment, of self-criticism, that's the instruction your body receives, and it will try to fulfill that instruction because that's what it thinks you want. This is why self-compassion isn't just a nice idea, it's a biological necessity. It's an energetic requirement because your body doesn't respond to effort. It responds to coherence, to clarity, to love. Bruce Lipton's research backs this up. He showed that cells respond to their environment, not just the chemical environment, but the energetic one. The thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, the beliefs you hold, they alter the expression of your genes. They change what your cells do. They shape your biology. Your thoughts don't just create holograms in your energy field. They instruct your body on how to behave. So here's the radical shift you need to make. Stop fighting your body. Stop criticizing your organs. Stop yelling at your cells for not getting it right. Start sending clear, compassionate, supportive messages. Start treating your body like the intelligent, responsive, loyal system it is. Start understanding that healing isn't about forcing change. It's about creating coherence. And when you do that, the holograms shift, the movies dissolve, the energy field reorganizes, and your body, finally receiving clear instructions, can do what it's been trying to do all along. Heal. So here's how you work with this. First, become aware of your unconscious messages. Start noticing the emotional tone behind your thoughts. When you visualize, when you meditate, when you affirm, what are you feeling? Desperation? Impatience? Doubt? Those emotions are part of the hologram you're creating. They're part of the instruction your body receives. If you catch yourself feeling frustrated that healing isn't happening fast enough, pause. That frustration is a signal. It's a message, and your body is listening. Instead, shift to curiosity. What is my body trying to tell me? What does it need? What instruction have I been unconsciously sending? Second, send clear, compassionate messages to your body. Talk to your organs, not out loud if that feels weird, but mentally. Liver, I appreciate you. You've been working hard. I'm sending you support. I'm sending you love. Heart, I know you've been holding a lot. I see you. I'm here with you. This isn't woo-woo. This is working with the holographic intelligence of your system. Your organs will respond. Your cells will respond because they're designed to. Third, when you visualize, do it with alignment, not aggression. Don't force the image. Don't demand the outcome. Don't berate your body if it's not there yet. Instead, visualize from a place of support. I see you healthy. I see you whole. And I'm here supporting this process with you. Feel the difference? One is a demand. The other is a partnership. Fourth, work with the stuck movies. When you notice a pattern repeating, when you keep getting triggered by the same thing, When you keep recreating the same scenario, ask, what movie is playing? What scene from my past is looping? And instead of trying to push it away, watch it, feel it, understand the symbol. That little girl standing alone, she just wants to be seen. That moment of abandonment, it just wants to be acknowledged. That suppressed emotion, it just wants permission to be felt. When you give it that, when you see the movie, feel the emotion, understand the meaning, it dissolves. The hologram fades, the loop stops, and then finally, trust that you don't need to see your energy field to work with it. You don't need psychic vision. You don't need to be gifted. You just need to understand that your awareness is the tool. Your intention is the power. Your compassion is the key. You are working with a holographic system. Every part contains the whole. Every thought shapes the field. Every emotion sends an instruction. So work consciously, work compassionately, work with coherence, and watch what happens, because here's the truth. You've always had the power. You've always been affecting the field. You just didn't know you were, but now you do. But let me paint you a picture of where this leads. Imagine waking up tomorrow with this knowledge fully integrated. You're no longer at war with your body. You're no longer frustrated that you can't see energy. You're no longer doubting whether any of this is real. Instead, you understand. You understand that every thought you think is creating holographic structure in your energy field. You understand that every emotion you feel is sending instructions to your cells. You understand that your unconscious mind is playing movies, and that you have the power to watch them, understand them, and dissolve them. You start your meditation differently, not with demands, not with impatience, but with partnership. You speak to your body. You send clear, loving, supportive messages, and you feel the shift, not because you're forcing it, but because your system, your organs, your cells, your energy field finally understands what you actually want. You notice a trigger. Instead of pushing it away, you pause. What movie is playing? What stuck scene is trying to get my attention? And you watch it. You feel it. You let the hologram dissolve naturally through awareness, through compassion. You visualize your future. Not from lack, not from desperation, but from alignment. And this time, the hologram you're creating in your field is coherent. It's clear. It's supported by your emotion, your intention, your entire being, and reality starts responding differently. Not because the universe suddenly decided to favor you, but because you're finally broadcasting a clear signal. You're finally creating holograms that match what you actually want. You're finally working with your holographic body instead of against it. This is what X-ray vision really means. It's not about seeing through physical matter. It's about seeing through the illusion that the physical is all there is. It's about understanding that you are a holographic being, creating holographic structures, living in a holographic reality. And that when you work with that truth consciously, everything changes. You don't need to be a psychic. You don't need special gifts. You just need to understand the mechanics and then apply them consistently, compassionately, consciously. And so here's my question for you. Are you ready to stop fighting your body and start partnering with it? Are you ready to dissolve the stuck movies and create new holograms? Are you ready to send clear, coherent, compassionate instructions to the intelligent system you've been living in your entire life? Because the power is already yours. The field is already responding. The holograms are already forming. The only question is, are you going to create them unconsciously or consciously? I know which one I'd choose. Now, this is episode 17 of Beyond Reality. 17 episodes into seeing through the veil, into understanding the invisible architecture that shapes everything you experience. And if you've been with me from the beginning, you know. We're building something here, layer by layer, concept by concept, each episode revealing another piece of the holographic puzzle. But here's where it gets wild. What we've explored today, the holograms, the movies, the organ consciousness, it's just the surface, because there's something even more radical that nobody talks about. Something about where your mind actually lives. Something about what responds before your brain even registers a stimulus. Something that will completely rewrite everything you thought you knew about consciousness itself. And that's what we're diving into in episode 18. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to give it away, but I will say this. If what you learned today made you question reality, what's coming next will shatter it completely. In the best way possible. You'll find the link to episode 18 and the full Beyond Reality playlist in the description below. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. And if this sparked something in you, if you felt that recognition that this is what I've been missing moment, then hit that subscribe button, because we're going deeper, always deeper, into the quantum field, into the holographic nature of consciousness, into the truth that's been hiding in plain sight. And drop one word in the comments, just one word that captures your biggest takeaway from this episode. Energy, hologram, compassion, consciousness. Whatever word landed for you, because that word, it's not just a comment, it's a declaration. It's you claiming this knowledge. It's you stepping into conscious creation. Welcome to Beyond Reality. Welcome to seeing through the physical. Welcome to working with the holographic field consciously. The movies are already playing. The holograms are already forming. Now you know how to direct them. And next time, we're going even deeper into where all of this is actually happening. See you in episode 18.